Sweet moment. Cheng Lei opens his heart and Zhou Ye fills it with love. A love story that took our breath away. Hello everyone. Welcome back to Trending Asian, the place where the most talked about stories, unforgettable moments, and heart-stirring connections across Asia come to life. Today, we're diving into a love story that feels gentle, sincere, and impossibly beautiful. When Cheng Lei finally opens his guarded heart, Zhou Ye steps in and fills it with a love so pure it leaves everyone breathless. Stay with us, because this is one story you won't want to miss. There are love stories that arrive loudly, announced by grand gestures and bold confessions, and then there are love stories that grow quietly, almost invisibly, until one day the entire world realizes it has been watching something rare unfold. The story of Cheng Lei and Zhou Ye belongs to the second kind. It was never about sudden sparks or dramatic headlines. It was about patience, timing, and two souls slowly learning how to trust love again. Cheng Lei had always been known as someone who carried depth behind his calm exterior. His eyes, often described as steady and unreadable, held stories he rarely shared. He was someone who gave everything to his work, pouring emotion into every role, yet keeping his personal heart carefully guarded. Those close to him often said that Cheng Lei loved deeply but cautiously, as if he had learned long ago that opening one's heart was both a gift and a risk. Zhou Ye, on the other hand, arrived like a gentle breeze. Bright, warm, and sincere, she carried an energy that softened the space around her. Her laughter came easily, but it never felt careless. There was kindness in her gaze, a quiet attentiveness that made people feel seen. Where Cheng Lei was reserved, Zhou Ye was expressive. Where he was careful, she was fearless in her honesty. And perhaps that was why, from the very beginning, something about her unsettled him in the most beautiful way. Their paths crossed in a moment that felt ordinary at first, just another collaboration, another project among many. Yet from their earliest interactions, there was an undeniable shift. Conversations lingered longer than necessary. Glances lasted just a second too long. Cheng Lei found himself listening more intently, noticing small details about Zhou Ye that he never paid attention to with anyone else. The way she tilted her head when she was curious. The way her smile softened when she spoke about things she loved. The way her presence made silence feel comfortable rather than awkward. For Zhou Ye, Cheng Lei was someone who surprised her. Behind his composed demeanor was a man of surprising gentleness. He noticed when she was tired. He offered quiet support without being asked. He never rushed her words or dismissed her feelings. With him, Zhou Ye felt safe to be both strong and vulnerable, playful and serious, all at once. Slowly, without realizing it, she became someone who could see past his walls, and he became someone willing to let her try. What made their connection so powerful was not the absence of fear, but the way they faced it together. Cheng Lei was not someone who opened his heart easily, yet Zhou Ye never pushed. She stayed, patiently, consistently, offering warmth without expectation. She filled the spaces he didn't know were empty with understanding rather than demands. And in that quiet persistence, Cheng Lei began to change. There came a moment, subtle yet unforgettable, when Cheng Lei realized his heart was no longer his alone. It was in the way he looked for Zhou Ye in crowded rooms. In the way her happiness affected his own. In the way her sadness lingered in his thoughts long after their conversations ended. He realized that loving her was not something he had chosen deliberately, but something that had happened naturally, like breathing. When Cheng Lei finally opened his heart, it was not through dramatic words, but through actions. Through the way he stood a little closer. through the way his eyes softened when they met hers, through the quiet protection he offered without realizing he was doing it. Zhou Ye noticed all of it. She understood that his love spoke in silence, in presence, in consistency. And she answered it with a love that was just as sincere. Zhou Ye filled his heart not by changing him, but by accepting him exactly as he was. She loved the man who was cautious, the man who thought deeply before speaking, the man who felt intensely even when he did not show it. Her love was gentle but unwavering, bright but never overwhelming. She reminded him that love did not have to hurt to be real, that vulnerability was not weakness, and that happiness could exist without fear. Together, they became something balanced and beautiful. Cheng Lei learned how to open up, how to let joy in without guarding it. Zhou Ye learned that love could be steady and calm, not just passionate and intense. They grew, not by losing themselves, but by finding new versions of who they could be together. What made their love story take our breath away was not a single moment, but the journey itself. The slow burn. The quiet devotion. The way two people chose each other every day, even when no one was watching. It was a love built on respect, trust, and a deep emotional connection that felt timeless. In a world that often celebrates loud romances and dramatic endings, Cheng Lei and Zhou Ye reminded us of something far more powerful. That sometimes, the greatest love stories are written in small gestures, shared smiles, and hearts that learn how to beat in rhythm with another. Cheng Lei opened his heart, and Zhou Ye filled it with love so genuine that it changed them both forever. And perhaps that is why their story lingers with us, because it is not just a tale of two people falling in love, but a reminder that real love is patient, kind, and brave enough to stay. Tucked within that quiet devotion was a promise neither of them ever needed to say out loud. In the way Cheng Lei instinctively reached for Zhou Ye's presence during uncertain moments, and in the way Zhou Ye smiled at him with unwavering faith, there lived a future shaped by trust. Their love did not rush toward a destination, it walked slowly, hand in hand, savoring every step. And in that gentle pace, they discovered that love, when true, does not ask to be proven to the world, it only asks to be lived. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more videos update.